Lots of directors don't know enough about sound. Of course, a sound designer is better when he works on sound. He knows more about that. But just be open to what they have to say. The more time you have, and the earlier you start to communicate your ideas and to hear from them what they have in mind, the better your movie is going to be. Oops.
谢谢你给我这个机会提问。我的问题是，我经常在看很多那个外国电影的时候，片尾字幕有很多的人员。我们现在有一个投资商，他想要拍一个佛教故事。然后其中可能是关于无量寿经中的18个境界。这可能需要特效来实现。但是国内目前的情况是，尽管设备很好，但是人员的技术不尽如人意。可是就是说，我们光看国外的字幕的话，我们也不知道是去哪里找好的公司或者好的顾问，就是说，而且字幕中人员非常多。那么哪些是关键和重要的？比如说是数码特效总监，还是数字流程后期顾问？就是以目前最新的情况来看，比如说作为一个导演的话，他与哪些最关键的人物保持好沟通就行了，然后最底下的交给他就可以。非常感谢。
All right. The first question, I think, if you wanna do a co-production, if you wanna use lots of visual effects and you know, I don't think I think the best way to do that is to do it as a co-production, not to call a visual effects company. I think it's much better to find a co-producer in Europe or in the States and do that movie together. And he might know who's the best. I think that's I think the easiest way. I mean, it's the same for us if we want to do something here. I mean, if I look for the best costume designer in China, it's much better to talk to a co-producer over here. It's much better than saying, oh, we've got an ad in the newspaper saying, oh, we're trying to find a costume designer, so I have to do 2,000 of interviews. I think it's much better to work together. And the question about the key members of the team, I mean, I wasn't really sure if you talk about in terms of visual effects. Of course, you have a visual effects supervisor, and for the visual effects, he is the guy you should talk to. But especially if it comes to visual effects, it's a very, very close relationship between the cameraman, the set designer, or and the director. So the three of them, they create the look of the movie. And a visual designer, a visual effects supervisor, I mean, he knows how to do that. But from the creative point of view, the set designer, the director, and the DP are the key persons. For the whole movie, of course, the most important people on set, definitely your actors are far more important than everybody else, because casting decisions, they change the movie completely. On the other hand, I mean, yeah, all the head of departments, they make it, they can help you so much. I mean, a DP, costume designers, the makeup artists, again, I don't know much about haircuts, to be honest, and about makeup. So I have to get a good makeup artist. And well, did I forget it? Well, a sound designer and the cameraman. I think they are the key persons, the persons you should, the people you should talk to the most before you start shooting.
弗莱丹克先生您好，您刚才给我们展示的片段是《玩具岛》，拿了美国奥斯卡最佳短片奖，而您也有拍摄长片作品的经验，我想请您试想一下，假如这部短片是我拍的，我拿了中国的金鸡奖，假如我想把它拍成长片的话，您会给出什么样的建议？我该融入哪些元素来扩充这个故事，使它不至于空洞苍白？在最后，这位母亲用自己孩子的名字去救别人孩子的性命时，不至于失去震撼力。谢谢。
I mean, I don't think it makes sense to kind of blow up a short film. If you make a good short film, the story is told in 7, 8, 12, 3 minutes, and that's it. If you have a good feature, you tell the story completely different. I mean, you really have to start again. If you say, okay, I want to make a different movie about the same background, the same characters, you really have to start again with a good script. It doesn't make sense. Probably if I would decide to say, okay, I do the movie, I make a long version of Toyland, I probably couldn't use any of the footage I used for the short film, because it needs a completely different storytelling, and it would be visually completely different. But I think short films are very complicated. It's so tough to tell a story in that short period of time. I mean, if it's like the bad short films are just the bad comedies are just like it's like telling a joke. And when you do short films, you should really try to create an atmosphere and to people want to know about the characters. That's the same with the feature film, but you just have 10 minutes, and I actually think it's harder to make a good short film than making a good feature. Well, is it? Yes. It's hard. It's different, at least. And yeah, and what you can learn. I mean, just the everyday process on set. I mean, I said the most important thing is to have enough experience to know how to run a set, and not to forget about your vision. And I think if you want to do a feature, and if you have something to say, and if you have enough experience, you can do that. And you can, after you did your short film, and if you know how a set works and how you want to do it, if you really have to say something, you can do that afterwards. I mean, it wasn't, for me, my producer was surprised, because when I didn't know why, because I always knew I could do a feature, and after when I did my first feature, it went extremely smoothly, because I have enough experience and I had a good script, and it works. And I'm pretty sure if you have enough experience with short films and spend time on sets and have a good script, you can do a feature right away.
喂，导演你好，我想问一下，就是短片怎样可以让它收回成本，流向市场？第二个问题就是，如果短片参加国际电影节，它有哪些基本的技术标准？谢谢。
It's tough to find investors for short films. I said that before yesterday, I think, because it is. I wouldn't call. It's possible to find people to help you. Investing in a short film doesn't make really sense, because even my Academy Award winning short film didn't make money in the end. you don't make money with short films. If you have that in mind, do something else. Do whatever, but not a short film. On the other hand, if you work in the industry, well, that was my way, because I know a lot of people, and I just gave them the script and they loved it, and they said, okay, we like to help you with that. And I think, well, I think you shouldn't say, okay, you want to invest in a short film, you should ask for a favor. And there are many people around who like to help young filmmakers, and that's how I did it. I mean, the whole team I had for my short film, they all were, I couldn't pay them, and I know a lot of people in the business. I had very, very good people on set, and they did it. What we call that deferred payment. So that means you don't pay them up front or while you're shooting, you pay them if the movie makes a bit of money. And that's why for a producer investor it doesn't make any sense to invest for money reasons in a short film, because if you make some money you have to pay your crew, and that's what I did in the end. So they got at least, I think they got like 10 or 15% of the money they should get, and that's just a gesture. I think I owe them a lot, and it's absolutely, you have to pay them if you can, but you don't make money. And yeah, just ask people in the industry, show them your script. If you know an actor, or just approach an actor, ask them, because they like, if they like the script, they do it, and they won't charge you any money. And especially these days with video, you can do a visually very, very exciting movie without using 35mm, all that expensive lab stuff and everything. I think it's possible to do that. And the good thing about short films is you have a lot of creative freedom. And I mean, I worked as a producer, produced a successful Doctor series, I have to admit. So that was mainstream. So I know how it works. I know what the market needs. And on the other hand, I did movies, and I said, okay, that's the way I want to direct movies, and you've got more freedom, even though it's not a nice thing to run around and ask for favors. But if people say, yes, we support you, that's a great thing, and I found enough people to help me, and well, just doing something, and you think, okay, everyone on set wants to do that. They are all here to support you. That's amazing. That's wonderful. It just gives me goosebumps when I talk about it.
导演你好，我叫刘少东。我想问一下，你能简单谈一下你那个第一部长片的情况吗？包括那个资金来源，包括剧本、拍摄、发行，包括那个最后的那个收益，谢谢。
Well, financing a movie is different all over the world, and when I was telling you about the 4 steps to make a movie, I skipped actually 2 steps. I skipped there's script development, and before you go into pre-production, there's financing, and that takes years sometimes. Sometimes it's very quick. Actually, the first movie I did, we had TV money, so the TV station paid enough money to make the movie happen. So that was kind of easy and quick. I have another movie now in LA, and we have a great script now. We've got a European co-producer and a producer in LA, and financing a movie, actually that's not my expertise because I'm a director, but it takes long, and it's very hard to approach actors if you don't have any money yet. And that's kind of a catch-22, that's probably hard to translate in Chinese, situation. If you don't have any actors, it's hard to get any money, and if you don't have any money, it's hard to get the actors. And the biggest problem, if you want to approach actors, are the agents, because their job is to make money for the actors, and fair enough, that's their job. And it's a bit of a gamble. If you know actors, that helps financing a movie. If you approach them personally, if you have a good agency, they might be helpful. I'm just talking as a director now, and what you need is a good script with a. I mean, if an investor, if a producer reads that script, or if someone with money, you as a director have to give them the feeling, okay, it's not only you, and you don't make that movie for yourself. There will be an audience one day, and if you are able to motivate those people, the money might show up one day. But it's a very, very long process. And I said, okay, I talked about 4 things now. I forgot the last thing, and you're not involved in that. I mean, after post-production, that's one thing I've heard, it's distribution. And well, as a director, you're not involved sometimes, not even as a producer. But that's what the money people know. And so I think it's better to talk to them about financing.
您好，我想问的一个问题就是，因为我们是学习导演，然后我和我的同学们最深刻的感受是，其短片更好控制，也更容易表达我们所想，更自由，也更容易取得一些所谓上是别人能理解的所谓的成功。我和我同学们最大的一个感受就是，我们的第一个长片或者总是词不够达意，也就是说。我们在控制短片的时候，我们是可以俯视这个结构的，但是当我们去做长片的时候，我们会被长片的结构所控制，结果会产生一种情绪线的断裂，或者我们会忘记我们想要表达的感情，而急于的讲这个故事。所以我想，希望您能够在短片和长片的结构上面来，回答一下我们的困惑，谢谢。
Well, I think that's another 2 hours to explain the structure. I mean, if you go to film school, you probably know, but I'm a bit old-fashioned. I really like the old-fashioned 3-act structure because I think that works. I mean, even if you just tell a joke, there's a first act, there's a punchline in the end. So I think it makes sense to think about those basics. But in the end of the day, it comes down to the characters. And if you just create like superheroes with no weakness, with no real like desire, and they are just strong, they can do everything, the audience will be not interested in those kind of characters because they see someone on the big screen and they want to be connected, they want to understand him, they want to feel for him. And I think like trust your characters and create human beings. I think that's the most important thing, apart from all that structural thing. Actually, going back to your question about festivals and short films, I think in terms of directing and in terms of storytelling, yes, the short film can be very helpful, and it makes a lot of sense to submit. I think that was your question, wasn't it? Your short film to as many festivals as possible, because actually for me as a European director, now being in LA every once in a while, it would be very interesting to see your vision, to see what you have to say, because I've never been to China, and I can sense that you have so much to say, and we unfortunately don't know lots about your movies, and it's a shame. And even short films, if you submit those to festivals in Europe, it would be great to see that, and that might help you to find co-producers, and yes, back to the story. Yeah, it's all about being honest with your characters, I think, and there's a lot of craft. You really have to know how to write, and you have to be very accurate, and you have to be very clever, and you have to, but yeah, trust your characters.
I want to go straight to the questions. I like the clip. Now, there's a few things about the performance, directing the performance. That when the soldier approached the lady, one of them actually go around the lady and come back. Is that your arrangement or just the actor? And also the way how the lady walk. You tell her how to do it, or she just do it by herself?
Well, actually, the arrangement, the blocking, staging, that was my idea, because I mean we did that with handheld camera, so I had to be very accurate. So there was not much freedom for the actors in that particular scene. The way she walks, I mean, I think that's like guess how an actor or character walks. It's a very important thing, and especially I don't know if it's different in the States, especially in Europe. Many directors and even actors don't think about it, and I think it's a very, very important thing. And what I did when I did another movie, well, actually it was a friend of mine who was the main character there, and so before we started shooting, and again before, we were walking around the city like for 3 or 4 hours. I said, no, that's not him, to find a way of walking, and I think that's a very important thing, and yeah, I'm glad we came up with that.
Okay. That's good, and I like the music too. Actually, it's the timing, the music. You know, can you talk about that? Is that instinct, or because that bring up the whole things when the music come up, and that's very good. Another thing is the directions. I forgot to mention. The lady actually approached the soldier that direction, right? When the shot come down. And in front of the train, she actually go to the same direction. That's a pretty good flow. You actually arranged that from the beginning, or that just happened that way?
No, that was arranged, yeah. But as I said, sometimes it depends really on the scene. Sometimes you have, if you know what you want to say with certain scenes, you have the chance to improvise on set. But this scene was, even though it was handheld camera, it was staged. Yeah, so I was quite accurate and told everyone, okay, where you have to stand and what they have to do. Yeah.
Okay, how about the music? The music, when the music come up, I mean, when you look at the script, the clip in the final cut, how do you decide the music is come up that moment? Can you share some of your experience?
Actually, for that particular movie, the music was very difficult because, I mean, the way the film is edited, because it jumps back and forth, so that kind of like parallel storytelling that makes it pretty complicated. And there was an even tougher thing because the two boys, well, they would only tell the whole story now. They were playing the piano, and it was very important for me that you could see the fingers in the beginning of the movie. Yeah, so I talked to my composer before we shot the film and said, okay, I want the music like this. So it took a while to find like the right song for them to play. And during post-production, we just noticed, okay, this song, I mean, even it was sync, so we had like stand-ins who were able to play the piano. We noticed, okay, the song is a bit too light. It's not really what we want to use for the main theme of the movie. So the challenge for my composer was to compose something that's almost the same, but a bit different, a bit darker. And so he had to like sync the music to the fingers of the boys, and that was a big challenge. And yeah, well, that was, I think, one of the toughest thing for that particular movie.
Okay. Yeah. Second thing is the rhythm. You know, it's pretty dark and then light and dark, and also the shot from the top of the train, you know, all the way coming down. That costs money too. That's I mean, that's a great shot, and typically from the dark and then go to the light and coming down, and the steam, everything else. And how do you, I mean, that's a good rhythm, and can you share some of that thought when you, in the pre-production, are you think through the whole things already, or that just happened and when you
No, as I said, I mean, I did my homework, so that shot, including the smoke, everything was, well, we scripted everything, and the funny thing is, because when we shot that scene with the train and everything, when we arrived on set and they were just like working on the tracks, and my DP decided, no, we don't need tracks, we have tracks here. So we actually used the real tracks, because next to the train were like the real tracks for railways. So we used those and put the crane on top of a thing. Normally they use it to repair something on the trains. And so, yeah, we improvised a bit in the making of it, but we had the ideas before.
导演您好，那个我想问的是，假如只有300欧元让您拍一场1分钟左右的那个比较真实的雨中戏的话，您会来怎么操作？谢谢。
Well, there are different ways of doing it. If you have a good script, you just call a company, and they might be able to give you like fake rain for free. Just ask them. I think that's the first step. If they don't, well, is rain really what you want to? Is rain the thing you want to talk about in that movie? Is rain the key thing, or do you find other moments? Can you? I mean, how you want to show the rain? Can you do that with details? If you don't have any money, maybe you can't do a wide shot with rain, or you have to wait for the day with rain. So if you can afford that, you have to do that. I mean, it's really hard to say. And I remember one day I wanted to shoot a scene at 2 actors. It was a very romantic moment, and what I had in mind was, okay, I want to see the 2 of them, and there was sun, and there's just like the people walking around, a very happy thing, and I want to show just the couple, just the 2 of them together. So that's what I wanted to tell. But that, unfortunately, we had like torrential rain at that day. And so what can you do? You say, okay, well, yeah, you can complain. Many directors complain. Or you can say, okay, let's find, I know what I wanted to tell. We had the equipment, we had everything. We had the actors, and we had 3 hours to shoot that scene. And actually, in the end of the day, I said, okay, just get rid of all the extras. Get rid of, we had some like umbrellas, all that stuff. Just so, and I said, okay, let's just show the 2 of them in the rain. You just need one little umbrella, and I just did 1 wide shot, just a couple, and I was able to tell exactly what I wanted to say, because I knew what the scene was about. And actually it was much better than the stuff with all the sunshine and all the extras.
嗯，您好，我想问第一个问题就是，我听说您的这个玩具岛的短片拍了4年，我不清楚是剧本创作的时间用了4年，还是说您整个这个时间用了4年？因为我很好奇，这个时间比绝大部分的电影用的时间都很长，所以很好奇您是怎么分配这个时间的。第二个问题是。我很关注奥斯卡的短片，因为我们现在都很年轻，没有那么多的金钱去拍长片，所以之前看到过一个奥斯卡的短片叫《超市夜未眠》，不知道您看过没有？那个短片就是故事性很弱，然后只是一个形式，而之后它被改编成了一个长篇电影，好像英文名字叫《Crash Back》，然后这个长篇才开始讲述了一个很动人的故事，所以有人说短篇是对一种形式的探讨，而长篇才是一个讲故事的方式。不知道您怎么看这个问题？
First question, of course, I didn't spend all days during the 4-year process of making Toyland. I didn't spend each and every day on that movie. most of the time, the script development, it took about like half a year or something, and yeah, can I call that financing? Yeah, the process of asking for favors took me about 3 years, or about 2.5 years. So that was the toughest thing to run around and ask people, okay, can we have the train for free? Can we have the crane and everything? So that was quite tough. And well, actually, yeah, the fun part was like 5 days. 5 days of photography. That was fun. That was good. And after that, I had distribution because I had to do that on my own. And you say you do a lot of short films. I mean, send them to festivals. That's what I did because that if you show your film somewhere abroad, people know how you think about filmmaking. And yeah, I did that. And the film, I think, I don't know, I sent it to about 250 festivals. It was nominated at more than 100 festivals. We won, oh god, well, it was like 35 awards, and yeah, including an Oscar. So yeah, that took a lot of time. Your second question, I think making short films, it's also about storytelling. I disagree. I mean, it can be visually different. I think, yeah, if you want to, if you tell a story in a certain way, yeah, do that, please, yes. But in the end of the day, it's about storytelling about characters. I think it's well, you tell the story in a different way, but it's storytelling. So it's feature is about storytelling and short film is about storytelling.